right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the House Regulated Industries Committee. If you would, go ahead and silence your telephones. If you don't mind it, you'll be paying a hefty fine of buying us dinner. All right. I want to preface a few comments today. We started yesterday with a hearing on Senator Calsert's bill 254. To the members, y'all remember what was discussed yesterday and what was in the bill that was put before us. And we heard testimony yesterday, and we had to move on out pretty quick. But we suspect that we know how a lot of the folks that had signed up yesterday. Now, I'm not one that chairs a meeting that I don't believe in people having a right to be heard, but I think we heard a pretty good feel yesterday. I want to preface a couple of more comments. This issue before us is something that we have last year when the legislature passed the hemp bill and sent it to the Ag Department. They have put the guardrails around what is and what's not eligible, what's in the testing and such as that. It appears to be a new type of a drink or other type of things that could be used for the personal enjoyment of folks. I have said for years that, those of us who've dealt with alcohol issues, we know that the alcohol industry has lost a lot of curry over the years because younger people want something else. They don't want the headaches, they don't want the hangovers, and quite frankly, it appears to me that a lot of folks are probably drinking these because from the folks that I have talked to that's told me about them, it's sort of a tranquil effect. I mean, that's the best I can explain it. I haven't heard a lot about the buzzing, but, I'm not a hypocrite. At the very least, people do drink alcohol because they like the buzz, except for me. I purely like the taste of Irish whiskey, but that comes from my genetic background. So, that being said, I am going to give everybody here a chance to be heard in one fashion. And if I would, everybody here that's here to speak in favor of this bill, because we certainly heard some yesterday that put the caution out there. Anybody here that's here to speak in favor, if you would raise your hand. All right. Do we have, how many folks are manufacturers as opposed to retailers? All right. Very good. Now, we can move on very quickly with this. I have a proposition before the committee. If you'll look at the substitute to House Bill 254, and this is LC 28069S, because we're going to be studying this in depth this summer. I mean, we'll be studying it in depth, the issues about this hemp-based products and all for full understanding. One of the things that came out yesterday, and as I questioned the author of the bill, he agreed that if there's any place that should have the right to sell these products, it should be package stores, because they check IDs and such as that, so it didn't seem to be fair. So before you, what you see is a substitute to the bill, and it does one thing only. It gives the Department of Revenue the authority to promulgate the rules and regs to allow package stores, if they are licensed by the Department of Agriculture for these products, for them to sell these products. And if there's any discussion, I'll open the floor up. Nobody's got a question. What a great committee. Number 24.
Can I still be on the committee?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm still trying to get my head around all this. Does this in any way allow us to collect excise taxes on these?
No, sir. Yesterday, I had discussed this for the last 2 or 3 weeks. We've been working with the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Revenue about putting some guardrails and putting excise tax. And Revenue met with me yesterday, and out of an abundance of precaution, they said that it would take more than just a simple section. This was, a matter of fact, to put excise tax on these products would take crossing 3 or 4 different code sections. And out of an abundance of caution to them, we've decided that that would be part of this study this summer. not just on the products themselves and the safety and the verification, but we'll also be looking at the excise tax on it at that time. This only does one thing, and that's puts these into the package stores in the state.
Mr. Chairman, just a follow-up question. Again, I'm just so new to this whole issue. Is it age 21, or is there age limitation on purchasing?
You have to be 21 years of age.
21, and that's what
this doesn't change anything. It just says, and that authority is in the rules and the regs at the Department of Ag. You have to be 21 years of age.
So this doesn't stop any of the current distribution methodology. It
Does
just
not
adds.
take it out of any of the current locations. To sell a hemp-based product, you have to be licensed by the Department of Agriculture.
Yes, sir.
And in this case, not only would you have to be licensed by the Department of Revenue, by the Department of Agriculture, you'd also have to be licensed by Revenue to sell alcoholic beverages.
Oh, thank you. That answers my question.
Up to 10. We haven't changed any of the levels. It's still at 10s. Number 3, Ms. Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know you just answered the question, but I need to ask because I missed it. Should this pass, it allows for excise taxes now or after the summer study committee?
It'll be after the summer, so it'll be next session. So that gives us all summer to look at this, look at the products, to look at the whole deal. Gives you time to talk to some of the more knowledgeable folks. We've worked with the Department of Agriculture. Catherine Russell has been an immense help over there about the whole issue of how they came to what they came to. Revenue can tell you about the other. Quite frankly, I regret that we had someone in attendance yesterday, a lady that runs the labs down in Macon that does the testing on this. And I talked with her afterwards, and I regret that we didn't have a chance to call her for running out of time. But I'm sure that sometime during the interim, when we're having some meetings on this, she was quite the eye-opener about a lot of the misunderstandings and the things about these drinks. So at that time, number 28.
Oh, just at the proper time, I'll make a motion.
All right, let's see, do we have any other questions from any of the committee members? Well, if not, this is the proper time.
I'll make a motion to pass.
We have a motion. We have a second. Do we have any further questions, any discussion?
Let's drink and get high.
And I want to say this before we take a vote, for all the folks who have sent the text and emails, which is probably more than I have seen on any subjects as of late. We're not banning the product. We're going to be looking at the product over the interim. And that being said, if there's no further questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and this has been a gloriously short meeting, and y'all can get on to your other business. Oh, one other thing, you'll see a samples that was brought of this product. Take these home with you. Do not open them here, because I would be under pain and suffering from the Speaker's office of daring to have entice something on the premise. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.